I already said it. These 156,000 pages that LinkedIn put up is what they call a collaborative article. And before we go into the mechanics of what makes them rank, what is the growth loop, why does this work, I want you to understand what a collaborative article is. So number one, the collaborative article lives on linkedin.com/advice. We can see it was launched in March, and this is a screenshot from a Ahrefs that shows how many keywords it's ranking for. And you can see in the last 6 months, it has gathered 860,000 keyword rankings. It has almost 13,000 keywords in the top 3 and under 55,000 keywords in position 4 to 10. It's already gathered 35,000 backlinks. So overall, it's going really, really well for them. And this hub, linkedin.com/advice, is what I presume is one of LinkedIn's big SEO bets this year. That is one of their big SEO strategies this year, and they're really leaning into this. So when they launched it, they said, we are unlocking nearly 10 billion years worth of knowledge to help you tackle everyday problems. So it's interesting. They didn't launch it as this is our AI big bet, this is our SEO play. They launched this very much as this is a community play. This is a user-generated content play. So in their words, they say, we enable every member to tap into the universe of experience on LinkedIn. They say, we use knowledge topics published by LinkedIn with the insights and perspective added by the LinkedIn community. And what stands out to me is that language, AI-powered conversation starter. And then secondly, members contribute their lessons and anecdotes. So we got the mix here. When they say AI-powered conversation starters, I think that's actually not totally accurate. What they're saying is we're launching an AI-powered article, and then we let members contribute with stories, comments, etc. And so if you ever come across a collaborative article in search or in LinkedIn, this is how you can spot them. They usually have that blue box on the top where it says learn from community knowledge. Experts are adding insights into this AI-powered collaborative article. Or if you're seeing the headline, under the headline 1, it says powered by AI and the LinkedIn community. So it's really that dual play of user-generated content and AI content. Let's see if this video works. This is a little walkthrough of one of these pages. On the left side in the gray box is a, let's say, classic article. That's the AI-generated article on the left side. We can see nice headlines too, nice content. And then on the right side, we can see these are the boxes where people are adding feedback. We can see Erica is leaving comments here. It's inviting me to leave comments. So it's a bit of a mix of a kind of like Wikipedia style approach, maybe Quora, Reddit style approach, where we do have that meat of the AI article and then people contribute to it. Why would we want to contribute? Like, why is this interesting for a LinkedIn member? Why should I be spending time commenting, sharing, engaging on these articles? So what LinkedIn says is they say, share your insight alongside other invited experts. So when they first launched it, leaving comments was actually not open to public. They launched it to an exclusive list. Angela, that I just mentioned from my team, she was one of those people who got in very, very early. She's commented a lot and now won this badge, top storytelling voice on LinkedIn. We'll see what that does in terms of like personal brand, reputation being strong in LinkedIn. But that is kind of like the promise that LinkedIn has for why you would want to contribute. If you contribute to these articles, this is the SEO in me speaking. You can gain exposure on search queries you otherwise have no chance to rank for. Meaning, if it's a very competitive keyword and you and your website have no chance of appearing on page 1, but there's a LinkedIn collaborative article on page 1, you have a chance to insert yourself into the conversation by leaving a comment on it, and so you're part of that conversation. And what LinkedIn is promising you is that you can gather credibility as an industry expert and thought leader, and you can build your professional expertise on LinkedIn. So 156,000 pages of AI-generated content. Why does this work? What are kind of like the SEO mechanics behind it? And how did they manage to rank so incredibly well in such a short time? Number one, these collaborative articles are very, very long. So I crawled the advice hub with Screaming Frog, and then I pulled out the word count. I did this, I think, in May when there's like 20,000 or so articles live, maybe 9,000 or so articles live. We can see the average word count of these articles is between 1,000 and 1,500 words. And the good thing is, because people are commenting, leaving comments, these articles keep getting updated and they keep getting longer and longer and longer and longer. They hardly have any articles with less than 1,000 words. Most of them 1,000 to 1,500, but then there's a few of them even longer. The other reason why these articles work is they're super keyword optimized. So we can see the URL this is an article that ranks for team skills on a resume. We can see teamwork skills, resume skills, teamwork. We can see that in the URL. We can see in the title, it says teamwork skills, resume examples. In the meta descriptions, how to use teamwork skills, resume examples, headline 1. How to showcase your teamwork skills on your resume, headline 2. And so these are the highly, highly optimized articles that follow a lot of SEO best practices. They use the keyword in the URL, page title, meta description, headline 1, headline 2s, and they're really, really long. And so they're already missing a lot. They're already hitting a lot of check marks that an SEO would like to see. One thing for context. This is actually not the first time that LinkedIn is launching a major SEO content initiatives. The first SEO content initiative is actually purely user-generated content, which is when you log into LinkedIn and you're in that little start a post bar, there's actually a button that says write article. If you publish an article there, it gets published in a slot called /pulse, and it actually ranks extremely well. So again, another parasite SEO trick. If you can't rank for a keyword and there's not yet a LinkedIn article on page 1, if you're posting a keyword optimized, SEO optimized article on LinkedIn, building a few links to it, you have a pretty good chance of appearing on page 1. The other SEO content initiative that LinkedIn has is their partner-generated content. They call that LinkedIn News. And so they've been publishing with editors, writers, and partners at scale SEO content as well. And again, this also lives on the /pulse hub on the LinkedIn website. There, they really speak strategically to LinkedIn as a platform to find jobs and find hires, not so much to LinkedIn, the social media platform. So the partner-generated content is driven by the editorial strategy. So it talks about career, job search, workplace, technology, job skills, HR, etc. Whilst the purely user-generated articles obviously can be about everything and anything that we as the users of the social network dream about. Why do these collaborative articles work from a growth perspective? And what I mean by that, when I say growth, I mean growth marketing in the sense that growth is a combination of product, marketing, sales, and customer success. Why is this a business engine for LinkedIn? Why does that help LinkedIn as a company to achieve their business and revenue targets? And there's 2 growth loops here that help them to be successful. The first one is an acquisition growth loop. So on the top, we have the collaborative articles. They're a mix of AI and user-generated content. These articles start ranking in Google and winning top positions. And we've seen that with the Ahrefs charts, that they're winning a lot of keywords and a lot of top positions. As they're winning top positions, they're generating organic traffic and new users. As more users come to the website, there is a higher opportunity for these people to contribute to the article, share these articles, which then in return makes these articles longer, makes these articles updated, and then again makes them more rankable, makes them attract more traffic. And so that's a really strong acquisition growth loop there. But it's actually also an engagement growth loop. So again, on the top, we have the collaborative articles, the AI and user-generated content. These actually ping people on LinkedIn and they ask for contributions, right? They're making me feel like an expert. They're telling me they want me to participate. Every time I do participate and I write something, it actually posts on my LinkedIn profile that I've contributed. So as I'm engaging more and more with the user-generated side of it and contributing, I'm producing more and more notifications on LinkedIn, both for myself as well as my network that sees that I'm participating. My network sees my top voices badge, etc. And so as I'm engaging more, I'm increasing my engagement and time spent on LinkedIn. And so it's really, that is why these articles work for them. They're a powerful acquisition growth loop and they're a powerful engagement growth loop. And the more you do, the more output they get, the more users they get, the more engagement, the more time on the platform. Coming back to my statement saying that this is LinkedIn's SEO big bet. With big bet, I mean a growth marketing initiative of significant strategic importance. One, these collaborative articles really align with LinkedIn's published business strategy and general push towards becoming a place where professionals come to learn. LinkedIn is obviously a social network in which we can be thought leaders, talk with others, etc. But LinkedIn is also first and foremost a job marketplace for finding jobs or for hiring. And now they really want to go into the learning and development. We can see that LinkedIn has now a whole LinkedIn learning course platform. And so they're really trying to be an integrated place in which professionals come to find jobs, learn about jobs, connect with people from the jobs, etc. And they're being broader like that. It's also working for them because it's a really creative example of AI content at scale. And so instead of just straight up slapping ChatGPT articles on their website, they have that interesting twist with the user-generated content. But at the same time, if you think how much it would cost writing 156,000 articles, the whole AI component is obviously a much more cost-effective content production. But they're not straight up copy and paste AI. They do have that unique content, unique to Google, stories, examples, and growing article length because of the user-generated component. So whilst the editorial team is the one who chooses the topics, which are clearly very keyword focused, and creates the general structure and strategic focus, the LinkedIn editing team is never a bottleneck during this growth. And that's what allowed them to publish so much in such a short time. And on top of that, I'm very sure that this is LinkedIn's SEO big bet because they actually say so in their FAQ. So if you look in the LinkedIn FAQ, what they've said around finding collaborative articles, they say that, of course, you can find them through LinkedIn and searching the relevant skill pages, etc. But on top of that, they say, additionally, you can search for collaborative articles on any external search engine. And I think that half sentence tells us a lot about why LinkedIn created these articles and that they want them to be an SEO driver and that they first and foremost generated them to be a driver for organic. So why should you care? If you're running a content side or like me, if you're working agency side, I work with a lot of tech startups. Why should I care about the fact that LinkedIn puts out 156,000 pages? Number one, it talks to us about why doesn't Google ban AI content? Google has said in their documentation several times that they're not going to punish AI content as long as it's useful, user-friendly, and not purely published for the sake of kind of like scamming the algorithm. They've also said automation has long been used in publishing to create useful content. AI can assist and generate useful content in exciting new ways. So this is an example of someone publishing AI content and being rewarded for it. And so it's an interesting case studies for SEO to see what did they do right. One factor to not forget when looking at this is This strategy is what I call a sleeping giant waking up. LinkedIn is a huge organization, a huge company. I don't know how big their SEO team is, but probably compared to the entire organization of LinkedIn, not so big, which means the SEO team needed to get buy-in, from the marketing leaders, executive teams, and they managed to do that. That probably took them a while and an effort. Now the giant has waking up. And it's a giant because this is one of the few domains that has 98 out of 100 domain rating. So it's one of the strongest websites that exists on the internet. It's also one of the biggest websites with 822 million pages on LinkedIn.com, which means now that this monster of domain rating links and pages is waking up, 156,000 is actually not that many pages in the grand scheme of LinkedIn. And the giant has now huge competitive advantage over you. If LinkedIn is going after some of the keywords that you are going after, they will likely win. They have this backlink, this size of a website, that age, that domain rating behind them. And so they're a very serious competitor for you now, even though they might not be offering the same service or product that you are. If you try to rank for anything in marketing or SEO, there's always HubSpot and Neil Patel on page 1. LinkedIn is your new Neil Patel or HubSpot for anything job, HR, etc. Expect LinkedIn to see a lot more of LinkedIn as a competitor for your SEO targets moving forward. And it's going to be very, very hard to get by them, same as it's very hard to get by Wikipedia also. If you want to read up on this in greater detail, I've published a case study on search engine land calling Decoding the SEO Success of LinkedIn Collaborative Articles, where I discuss this in a little bit more detail, and I'm happy for you to look that up. I also wanted to say thank you guys for joining us on an SEO session so late at night. And I did want to give a shout out to what Raf's been saying. Last year, I ran a webinar series called Decoding SEO Success Secrets, in which we uncover SEO strategies in the wild. We look at the SEO strategy of popular software companies so that you can learn from them and deploy them yourself. I have been a little bit sleepy with these in 2023. This case study on LinkedIn Collaborative Articles is one of my first ones. They are coming back, but there's also a bunch of her on our blog that I want you to check out. So yeah, please go ahead, read these, because they're all about, let's talk about what's real. Let's move away from the textbooks and guides and how-tos. Let's see what people are really doing.